Here we are again. After skipping the Tour last year to fully focus on the Vuelta, I am now back in the biggest cycling race in the world. My ambition is clear, to go for the win, but of course, I am not blind. I realize that Tadej Pogačar has been dominant at the top for years. I also realize that he is getting older. He is now 31 years old and still in top shape. Still, I would like to beat him in his best years, not because he is declining. Besides Pogačar, of course, there are other riders as well. Hugo de la Sella is another very tough competitor. But I also cannot underestimate Isaac del Toro, Remco Evenepoel, and Lenny Martinez. Let's start with stage 1. The first stage ended on a little hill. The explosive riders liked this challenge, and Remco Evenepoel, winner of 2 of the 3 hilly classics, handled it very well. He won the first stage and also took the first yellow jersey. The second stage looked much like the first. A finish on the Mur de Bretagne, a short but steep hill. For me, stages like this are not made. The GC riders started early, and no matter how much I tried, I cracked. I lost 20 seconds today to the other favorites. Tadej Pogačar took his 50th stage victory in the Tour. Insane. Stage 3 was the first sprint stage of the race. Girmay was the fastest. Stage 4 gave the sprinters a second chance. Milan grabbed it with both hands. Day 5 was one where I might take some time back on the other GC riders. We faced a 25-kilometer time trial. I rode a decent time trial. When I crossed the line, I was third, 2 seconds behind the provisional leader, Tarling. But then Evenepoel and Pogačar still had to come. Both of them were faster than Tarling. Evenepoel, who was already the leader, underlined his strong start to the Tour once more by winning a second stage. In the standings, I am already 1 minute and 44 seconds behind Evenepoel. That is a lot. After yesterday's time trial, I wear a familiar jersey again, the white jersey as leader of the young riders classification. Stage 6, meanwhile, was won by Milan. The 7th stage had a hilly finale. Brennan knows how to handle that better than anyone and won the sprint from a reduced peloton. We have already completed a third of the stages. But now the stages that suit me better are coming, the longer mountain stages. On the first real climb, I tried to attack right away, but it made little difference. On the final climb, it was our big friend from Slovenia who took charge. I reacted and kept the gap limited. Unfortunately, I had to let go just a few meters before the top. I did my utmost best to come back in the descent, but it did not happen. I lost about 20 seconds to De La Sella, Pogačar and Evenepoel. The stage win went to the early breakaway rider, Carlos Rodriguez. Luckily, the very next day, I had a chance to do better than the day before. The stage win would not be possible as breakaway riders were up the road. In our group, the pace was high. With about 3 kilometers to go, I tried to get away. I opened a small gap and kept pushing. Unfortunately, just before the top, I was countered by Pogačar, the Slovenian who cannot be beaten, left everyone behind and blasted away. Only won the stage and his fellow SKP Staune Mitet took over the yellow jersey. I now sit in 4th place in the standings. In stage 10, it was back to the sprinters and the winner was Jonathan Milan. In stage 11, I wanted to go for victory. I had my teammates work all day. I was well aware that Pogačar is the man of the Tour so far. But if you want to win, you have to dare, and I certainly won't call myself cowardly. The stage climbed Mont Ventoux twice, with the finish after the descent. On the final climb, the attacks rained down. I chose not to go with them right away, but to ride my own tempo. This tactic has brought me success in the past. Of course, Pogačar was once again at the front of the race, but I saw him getting closer and closer. I bridged across to him and his companions. Boom! A second attack by Pogačar. I stuck to the same tactic, my own tempo. The rest quickly dropped. It was me against Pogačar, and again, I came closer and closer. In the last kilometer of the climb, I actually got back to him. I thought to myself, don't wait now. Keep going. I was free. I crested the summit with 35 seconds. I flew down the descent and claimed the stage win. I now climbed up to second place in the standings. Pogačar rides in yellow. Today proved that I can beat him. The next day we had the chance to recover. A flat stage won by Jasper Philipsen. The 13th stage was just as flat as the previous one. And just like yesterday, Jasper Philipsen won again. Stage 14 was a transitional stage. Tom Pidcock won it from the breakaway. In stage 15 we returned to the mountains. However, the climbs were not hard enough to make big differences. My tactic was simply to follow and try not to lose time. That worked fine. I clung to Pogačar's wheel and did not move. From the break, Riccitello was the best. Stage 16 was another one made for the breakaway. For me, it was about not losing time. In the end, the escapees did not stay away. In the finale, Pogačar attacked with some other riders. Luckily, I had Vacek by my side and he rode full gas. He managed to close the last gap. When it stalled, Evenepoel attacked. The Belgian opened a gap and took his third stage win. The next 2 days would be hard, with 2 tough mountain stages. I was still a minute and a half behind, so there was work to do. I decided not to attack too early. I hoped to make the difference with one strong move. Pogačar was forced onto the defensive. He reacted to the attacks left and right and also set the pace. With 3 kilometers to go, I decided it was time. I hoped to get away with one good attack. Sadly, Pogačar followed immediately. I had 2 options: wait and try again later, or keep a high tempo and hope to crack him. I chose the second. Explosivity is not my strongest point anyway. We started to sprint. When I launched, I didn't feel him coming. Pogačar was cracked. I took the stage win. I am so happy with this victory. To win the Tour, I should have taken more time, but tomorrow we get another chance. In stage 18, we rode the last mountain stage. The stage had a flat opening, but in the finale, 2 very tough climbs. I had won the last 2 real tests. Today, I had to go for it again. With a 30-kilometer time trial still to come, there was definitely still something possible if I could take time today. In the early break, we had no less than 3 teammates. We had the idea to attack already on the first climb, hoping to drop Pogačar there. If that worked, I would still have teammates to pull me further. So, I attacked on the first climb. Pogačar was not immediately in my wheel. The gap I made stayed more or less the same. I reached my teammate Pellizzari and he gave me a pull. Vacek, unfortunately, could not do anything anymore. He was completely done. In sight of the summit, the thing I had not hoped for happened. Pogačar came back just before the top. This could well have been the moment of the Tour. If he had not been with me there, he would have been left alone against me, with a teammate pulling all out to take me as far as possible. Sadly, it was not to be. Time to switch. On the final climb, I still had support from Poel and Pellizzari. They protected me well and set a strong tempo. In the finale, I attacked. Pogačar, in my wheel, just keep riding and hope. And it actually happened. Pogačar cracked with 1 kilometer to go. I took about 30 seconds back on the Slovenian. With the time trial still to come, he is 50 seconds ahead of me. That is still quite a big gap. Too big, I fear. But I am often good in time trials in the final days. I feel very good. Buitrago, by the way, won the stage from the break. Stage 19 was another flat stage, before the decisive time trial. The sprinters had no interest and the victory went to the break. Wout van Aert was the fastest there. Stage 20, the day of the finale. 30 kilometers against the clock. With 50 seconds behind Pogačar, I faced a serious challenge. Let's see what is possible. This Tour at least shows that there are perspectives for the coming years. In the mountains, I was the strongest. Only on the hills and in the mid-mountains do I need to improve.
Well, here we go. Davide Grimaldi has rolled off the start ramp. He looks hungry. One more time, all or nothing for Davide. First checkpoint here for Davide Grimaldi. Very nice. Second fastest time. Just 4 seconds behind Remco Evenepoel.
What about Tadej Pogačar? We can hear his first split any moment now.
There it is, 15th place, already 21 seconds down on Grimaldi. This could get very, very exciting.
Davide Grimaldi at the second checkpoint. Wow! Fastest time, 2 seconds ahead of Evenepoel, but more importantly, what's the gap to Pogačar?
40 seconds already. Pogačar has only 10 seconds of his lead left over Grimaldi. 7 kilometers to go. This is a dream finish to the Tour. Who will take it?
Grimaldi can still win the Tour, but not the time trial itself. Evenepoel takes the stage win, 19 seconds ahead of the Italian.
And it looks good for Grimaldi. The clock is ticking in his favor. Here comes Pogačar, and it's done. After 2024, we finally have a new Tour winner.
Fantastic. What a historic day.
Davide Grimaldi takes the yellow jersey by 11 seconds over Pogačar.
The last stage was a big celebration through the streets of Paris. Milan won the royal sprint on the Champs-Élysées. I can hardly believe it. I have won the Tour de France. How incredibly special. After a week, I was already more than 2 minutes down, and Tadej is not someone you just beat. He has won the Tour 8 times for a reason. But I have won on my own strength, in the mountains, by relying on myself and not giving up. I am someone who recovers well day after day and is built for Grand Tours. It actually happened. All 3 Grand Tours are now on my palmarès. Now on to the one-day races.
Davide, sta già iniziando a perdere tempo dai suoi rivali. Questa cronometro di Grimaldi è un po' deludente, signori. Sta perdendo ancora più tempo, è già molto indietro. Forza Grimaldi, non mollare adesso, amico mio. Ma sta succedendo? Si stacca. Aspettate, sta tornando. Grimaldi, torna su Pogačar. Non aspettare adesso, Davide! Lo stacca, se ne va. Che splendida vittoria di tappa per Davide Grimaldi. Ma ecco Pogačar, che riesce appena a rientrare in cima. Quanto gli è costato questo sforzo allo sloveno? Grimaldi stacca Pogačar. Si avvicina nella classifica generale. È ancora possibile, è ancora vivo. Mamma mia, Davide Grimaldi, vincitore del Tour de France 2030. Detronizza l'8 volte campione del Tour Pogačar. Non riesco a credere di assistere a questo, signori.